Hey guys, welcome to another session of Epic 7. This is going to be an ML Ken showcase video. ML Ken, I did a video on him like maybe a year ago. I think around the same time, somewhere like April 2020 or something. So this is kind of like a revised version. So the fight clips are going to be much shorter. The discussion points are going to be much shorter, but basically kind of like a refresher of where he stands right now. Because we're getting these ML5 connection heroes at the point of this recording coming up next week, and I know that some players, you know, obviously like RB, Spectani, like Ruel, like those are high priority, but it's like if you have those, like, is ML Chem worth your time? In conclusion, I would say yes, but that's a bit of a spoiler. I'm gonna show you guys two fight clips, one in Guild War, one in Arena Offense, and then we're gonna get into the build and where I see him right now in the meta. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. So this is the first fight. This is a stronghold for the guild we're fighting. And the first part here is obviously the showcase of ML Ken. That's a pretty quick T-Syrian, but basically you just want to get the attack buff up. I mean, this defense is run like way too much. Whether it's on Alexa's Basket or MLDB, Moonlight Dreamblade, the ML Ken that I will showcase at the end, the build, is very solid on Lifesteal, as you can see. Got lucky on the counter here, or the crit. Sorry, break the skill null quick. This is more or less the rotation that I usually run, and this is more or less the speed tuning gear, etc. that I've seen. Again, if you're running this comp, the ML Ken is very low risk of dying, even when Landy does Death Pen. You always, for this type of fight, it was a Gab T-Syrian, so it did quite a bit of damage. I think my A-Roz is on Adamant Shield for this fight. I think it is. But as long as ML Ken gets a defense buff, it is very, very safe. It wouldn't have mattered if I got the Death Break. Like, the Death Break obviously killed off the biggest threat, which is Landy. But I've had it where, you know, I don't land the Death Break, so it still works. But basically, Lifesteal is just really, really nice. It just keeps the healer from having to overwork herself. And then with the Rod heal, I always save the A-Roz S2 until I can start soul burning, at least with my ML Ken. Because ML Ken has a lot of power, so drawing him dual attacking can really, really help the fight. Especially if Landy, let's say, was in Guiding Light for 2-3 turns, and then you needed to take her out really quick. Getting the dual attack Death Break or dual attack into a attack down from ML Ken, very, very good for the fight, of course. Getting the attack down on the Landy. This is just for the heal, but unnecessary really. If we killed the FCC quicker, the fight would have been ended quicker. But it's basically because the T-Syrian had used her S3, so that's why I used it. I've had comments before when I was streaming this type of fight, like, oh, ML Ken's gonna die. He would die in a lot of RNG scenarios, but if he's on Lifesteal, very, very, very low chance of dying. But anyways, I'll talk about that at the end, the build. It's very satisfying seeing ML Ken like do his work, because then you don't feel so salty about owning him. The second one here, I theorycrafted that because he uses Cerise, that can't be a speed RB, so it had to be two counter heroes. So my and MLDB, of course, Moonlight Dreamblade, and so my RB is on Symbol of Unity, so can't miss the MLDB, and then gets extra damage. And Singelica very, very good because they get the attack buff for RB, and in that case, because they're both so slow, I didn't need to soul burn the Bazaar, so he actually wasn't even necessary except to make sure I get the turn, I guess. But I can soul burn RB, and which is a really strong cleave. So anyways, that's that, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. It's easy. Last time you used ML Ken in Guild War, you lost the round. Don't worry, it's easy, man. Trust me. Alright, so basically, well, ideally I go all fires. Hold on, what kind of fire here is this? Is a guild war offense? Let's see. Robbie could be good. Self-sustain, and we'll keep Roz, and then we'll just bring a freaking healer. I know it feels like sweaty, but I just wanna have the Landy hit my ML Ken. That's it, man. That's all I want. I think this should be fine. Oh wait. K-Ron? No, not K-Ron. He gets stripped from Op Sig. K-Ron won't work. He gets blinded and then stripped. Okay, we got Rod. So this will work. This will work. Oh, what the heck? He has Wall of Order? Okay, last time I didn't proc, so I did not know that. And it didn't crit my ML Ken? Wait, okay, we need the death buff. Holy crap. This time I didn't push my Roz, so we got lucky. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's some RNG going on, man. There's some RNG going on, bro. Oh, frick. I don't think anybody's surviving this. And he got gabbed? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I lost my Ravi? Wait, this is a cleave FCC. I lost... Okay, alright. I think we lost, boys. I think we lost. I'm gonna... we lost. We lost. How is this even possible? No! No! And then she's... Wait, he didn't crit. Okay, so all the... But now this isn't gonna help. Because... This is not gonna help. Oh, shoot. Yeah, she's dead. Okay, so it's basically ML Ken versus the world. Oh my goodness, I'm so scared, man. Was that a 2-turn death buff? It was a 2-turn death buff, right? Oh frick, you gotta be kidding me! Okay, he's healed. Now just don't blind. Yeah, just Ray. It's 1v4, boys. Just don't blind. You gotta be kidding me. Hit him! Oh, he can't sustain it like this. Oh my goodness! Death Pen? Oh my goodness, it's like no damage on the I mean, it's no tank on the Landy either. This is unfortunate. Hit him! Yes! Yes! Okay, we got a chance, boys. Yes! Oh my goodness! Hit him! Yes! Guys, we can do it! ML Ken solo! We can do it! Yes! Yes, baby! Yes! ML Ken, Lifesteal ML Ken, guys. That is the future. That is the freaking future, man. Listen. You guys just watch that, man. 1v4. He ain't dying, man. I feel so proud about that one. Yes! I'm pulling with your covenant. Thank you for watching those fights. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. I know I did, especially the arena one, especially at that time. You could tell in my voice I was genuinely happy with my ML Ken's performance. Before we get into the build and where he stands right now in the meta, I do want to give a big shout out and thank you to my patron supporters supporting me through Patreon monthly: Azure, Deekboy, Kariha, RG Fua, Stone Thunder, Torin B, Sean B, Potatoes, Hippie, Silly, and White Drizzle. Thank you guys so much for your support. The chats we have in the patron chat, if you want to support me through that avenue, definitely check the links down below and see what I have to offer on Patreon. The guys get an inside scoop of, you know, what I'm working on, not specifically just for Epic 7, but just anything involved in my YouTube channel and the streams. So anyways, let's get right into it. So first things first is that, like I said at the beginning, the intro, I did make an MLChem video. I actually had to go back, look at my archives and see, like, I think I did. I pulled him, luckily, if you're like one of my, like, you know, long time viewers, you know, I pulled him luckily on like a one tap Mystic, and then my emulator crashed, so I thought I lost him. Anyways, that was a whole other thing. I quickly made a video on him, and so this is kind of like a continuation. He has seen multiple sets. In that showcase video, I had him on like a free attack set, and then, you know, over time I got him on a double crit immunity set with its more damage, and now, as you can see, he's on a lifesteal set. I think this is where he's supposed to be right now, and it would actually be nice to get the effect resistance imprints. I know that MLChem had been Theorycraft effect resistance ever since his imprint concentration release. Ever since that system had been released, people have used resistance MLChems, and then he quickly fell off. With 90 gear though, it is much more achievable to get a decent amount of effect resist if you have triple S especially, and also on lifesteal, which I think is going to be, or is the way that you should be using MLChem at this point, the point of this recording. For those who, you know, think that MLChem needs a buff, in my opinion, he still doesn't need a buff. The issue is that Smallgate had released heroes like Last Rider Crow, ML Haste, people who do no crit damage, but also they could do a lot of damage. People who can't trigger counterattacks. So, for example, Landy right now. So then MLChem became much less used, or a high risk, because if you use him in RTA, let's say, you can always really work around him. We got LQC, people who can nuke out MLChems really easily. And then in arena or guild war defense, he's really bad as well, because you got spec 10 offense users. You got people who can use Landy, like I said. People either in stealth, or people who can't trigger counterattack, or people who don't crit. MLChem becomes nothing more than just something that, I don't know, takes up space. I was trying to come up with a metaphor, I couldn't come up with one. As you can see, I'm actually farming his friendship. I'm going to, I guess he'll be plus 15 soon, I guess, or maybe. I might not spare to the full Mola onto the S3 there, but getting the death break is nice, getting up to 75%. I said in my first video, but I think this should be common knowledge now, because they changed the writing of this. But basically, if you want his counterattack to have the most damage, you definitely need to have, as you can see there, damage dealt by knockout and Dragon Flame. You need to have the S1 maxed for him to counter to the maximum amount of power, which is a lot of damage. It was already like that before, but the writing changed. So since my first video, the writing has changed. So now it's very clear. Here are my stats. As you saw in my Guild War clip, the defense I was running into, like FCC, T-Series, and Landy, I mean, I still see that. If you're in like let's say sub 20 Guild War, maybe even sub 10, like top 11 downwards, you'll probably still see that, because for people who have no answer to it, either through a cleave or like Operator Cigarette, ML Luluka, or through some kind of, like, I would say, more consistent bruiser team, you might get overwhelmed with the amount of damage that team puts out. But MLChem is that, you know, that hero that, like, if you hit him, he hits back, and he hits back harder. And so it's, in a way, it's kind of like SSB. So in, like, sometimes, you guys know how I do Guild War. If you watch me consistently, you know how I do Guild War. SSB cheese is the #1 thing I look for easy Guild War. Like, can it be Oxlots? And then if it can't be Oxlots cleaved, can it be SSB'd? And then now I look for the third thing, is like, can it be MLChem? I actually just did a Guild War, just really quick. We did a Guild War versus Fleet. This guild, although the power, and I mean, they have a lot of popular players in this guild, so if you're watching me, you should most likely know them. But Suck, the Stronghold, he's one of the strongest players in RTA, best mines, and good gear. Now, I hit his defense, the bottom one is the one I wanted to showcase, with MLChem, right? See, so I was looking at the, I mean, I could have gone with SSB as well, unit would have fed, but MLK was more consistent, or it was less risky because mine is on lifesteal, my SSB is not on lifesteal. The immunity with Last Rider Crow for the RB so that it doesn't blind my MLK, and then because Suck has good gear, so I wasn't hesitant on running MLK because he would have 100% crit rate. I have lost in the past, and I'm pretty sure if you're an MLK user, you have lost in the past where your opponents don't have 100% crit rate. Like I've lost to a RB that didn't have 100% crit rate, and I definitely paid for it. But it was before I was on Lifesteal. Regardless, if you have him on Lifesteal and Sigurd Scythe, there's almost no way he can die, especially with any sorts of mitigation, with some defense buff. Very, very good. And so running that second team was pretty easy, very, very low risk. So as you can see, like, it's not just the Tempest Syrian Landy comp. I basically transformed him into a Lifesteal set, or believed in the Lifesteal set MLK, because of the T-Syrian Landy comp. There are cases I know that people have lost to, and I have myself when I was on the double crit immunity set. I have lost myself where the T-Syrian would do an S1 dual attack into MLK, pulling Landy. Landy would hit him pretty hard, and then his counter would trigger on the T-Syrian, not on the Landy. So T-Syrian, because you can't do more than 50% of her health, or 51% of her health at a time, he doesn't actually heal back a lot. It caps his heal, because he does heal based on only damage dealt. And so Landy would, do the S1, he would have wasted his counter on T-Syrian. Landy gets a CR boost because of the S1, and because most likely your MLK would be buffed. And then she does an S3, which has no counter, you can't counter it, and then it's Death Pen, and then your MLK is dead. I've seen that happen to myself once. I've seen it happen to my guildmates. I've seen it happen to other people who have tried to run the MLK comp. But with Lifesteal and with decent bulk, he is not going down. I've tested this. I've stress tested that fight with the worst capable RNG, like, my MLK missing Moonlight Dreamblade Tempest Syrian, but she had the Moonlight Dreamblade procced in the previous hit too, so she was attack buffed with a decently strong Landy, and he still wouldn't die. So this is my MLK. I actually just showed the A-Ros and in case you wanted to run that comp, because that defense comp right now, I thought people would give up on it, but it's apparently still getting people wins, so people are kind of reluctant on changing that defense. So just in case you wanted some stats, definitely go on immunity on A-Ros. I've seen people run those like 270 Tempest Syrian, although not on Lifesteal, just to silence you. So your A-Ros definitely got to get a immunity buff on the first turn. I have actually thought about using Adam and Shield instead of Aureus. Aureus gives you more defense for the full team, but then he takes so much damage sometimes, especially if Landy triple hits fire or double hits fire. Akates would be my third hero. So Adam and Shield would be good in that sense too. You would only lose 4% damage reduction on the MLK, and if the MLK's on Lifesteal, it's still pretty good. So something to consider. You could definitely go with an Adam and Shield instead, and then the Akates on Rod, of course. PvP build, so not giving her the best gears. PvE, sorry, I said PvP. PvE build. I'd never use her in PvP. Anyways, back to MLK. So, and as you guys saw, the MLK in the arena fight definitely did pop off. Now, it does bring me to another point where I was talking about the effect resists. If you're waiting for MLK to get a buff, I don't think he's gonna get a buff. I think he's actually still pretty strong. His kit is very well designed, very straightforward. This was back, of course, when Smilegate or Epic 7 was developing heroes, and heroes were really clean. When we're talking about like Blue Crow is like one of the strongest heroes at this point, and it's because he keeps things simple. Defense buff, CR pushback, true damage S3 based on his lost health, and then provoke S1. Very, very simple, clean mechanics. Nothing where you have to read like 20 minutes S2 like an SSB passive or Solitaria passive or something like that. Nothing like that. So he brings in the AoE Death Break at 75%, which is really, really good already, and self-attack buff, and then attack down for his S1. right? So a lot of good stuff. And then so and then just the counter thing, right? The counter gimmick, if they counter him, he attacks back. So there's a lot of stuff that if they crit, rather, did I say counter? If they crit, he counters back. If it's a skill that is not anti-counter, which I still think it is pretty funny though. These skills that have the anti mechanics to it. Regardless, you can't wait for his buff. You have to adapt to the times, and I really do think that Lifesteal is the way. If you do have a triple S MLCan, definitely look into an effect resistance build. I'll show you a build that I'm thinking of, maybe on a free equip event, maybe after crafting a couple new gear, but I kind of want to do something like this. So I got a pretty cool effect resistance ring. I already 90'd it because I know this is going on MLCan one day. So that's right there. The HP of course drops, but then you can I have 3 purple gear. For those of you who are watching that really understand just rolls and stuff like that, you know why the stats are so low. But for those who don't, if you have purple gear, you're already missing a minimum of 24% worth of stats from the 85 gear, and then the 90 equivalent, you know, depending on what kind of stat you roll. So you're already missing a lot. Sorry, what was I looking for? Lifesteal. This one, I already pre-90'd it too. I think this is going on him. So I drop 18% crit damage. I'm running 102. Oh sorry, what, a 92 effect resist. Definitely I could find it somewhere else. Not here. Probably not that one. Those are converted because of the yeah, but you could definitely see that it's possible. Full red gear, you can get like 100 plus effect resist. I definitely think that a starter, especially if I eventually get a triple S MLCan, a good starter would be like 120 to 150 effect resist. I don't know if he should be going for like the 200, 250 effect resist. The issue is that if you're taking him to a pure debuffer comp, they might not be able to crit. But at least at the point of this recording, a lot of people have tuned their ambitious Tywins to be full bruiser with no effectiveness. Some people do have some effectiveness, but a lot of damage as well. Operator Cigarette comes to mind, and Arby's specifically when it comes to the effect resist MLCan. So I mean, one of the things that, you know, RB versus MLCan is that RB has a high chance of hitting MLCan no matter what. S3 of course, S1 possibly, but the blind or pushback could set MLCan to his death. So most people, they're min-maxing RB because RB is like one of those like top tier heroes. So he's like one of those high achievement type heroes. So if you get a good stat RB, you usually showcase that because you'll allow people to say that, oh, this guy must have good gear because his RB looks cracked, you know what I mean? So most RBs, because of min-maxing pure damage or speed or whatever have you, if it's a bruiser type, more defense, HP, maybe some speed, a lot of stats, they won't be putting that into effectiveness. So he can't get blind if you're over 100% effect resist. And then operator cigarettes, if they run no effectiveness, some people do run effectiveness, I've seen it too, but if they don't run effectiveness, they can't strip him on turn 1. And so therefore getting MLCan to, I would say roughly like, you know, 120 effect resistance. And if you could keep the HP, unlike mine, if you could keep the HP higher and the damage around that level, as you see on the right side, so 270 crit damage is pretty good for anti-cleave. I mean, extra 20 crit damage is great too, but that's not really where he's getting all his power from. It's really on how much HP he has lost with Sigurd Saith and then Lifesteal, just to sustain it. I would definitely say that the attack where I'm at is close enough, but like you saw in the gear here, I mean, this is not like perfect gear. I could roll more health into that if I get a greater gem. I don't think I can go any further for this one. I think that's actually maxed. This one, I probably wouldn't re-roll it. Everything looks valuable to me here. And then this one had the flat health, which is okay on him. Like Leo worries about like 5.5k health. So I mean, it's still diminishing return there. So that could be a decent amount of crit damage I can get back. And then maybe like a lower crit rate, like no crit rate weapon in the future I get. Hold on, let me see if I got one. And a higher crit damage, something like that. Like if this one wasn't converted to speed, this one would be pretty good. Like higher attack. Could convert the crit rate, and if the speed was like HP or something and the crit rate was like effect resist, I think that would be perfect. But I mean, that's probably easier for me to achieve somewhere down the line. So I'll probably be hunting for that. But once he's on like full full red 90 gear, I think he could definitely work. So it definitely, and then this one I probably, I don't know, maybe health percent for the 2 speed. So the 2 speed here is probably the weakest stat and not the 4 crit rate. But it does depend. So yeah, just saying that if you have a effect resistance ring, if it's on immunity, if it's on lifesteal, heck, even if it's on effect resistance set, maybe you keep it, right? If it has DPS stats in it and bulk, maybe you keep it, maybe for ML Ken. So hopefully, you know, hopefully this has been useful. That's where he is right now. I don't think that he needs a buff. I think you need to adapt your gear and adapt the way you use him. And like I said in summary, that I think in pocket pick scenarios, he could be used in like World Arena for like people who draft too many Soul Weavers. So he could be like a double pick with Dark Corvus, like very tail end picks, double pick with Dark Corvus, and then or people who draft cleavers but are not athletic, or maybe Cerise operators, cigarette type openers. You take out their, you know, big nuking damage, so their C-DOMs, and you leave everything else. If they have RB, if they have T-Serin, what have you, just keep that ML Ken there, and he's probably a force ban. Anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Hopefully you guys did find this informative and useful, and I'm gonna end this for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.